people by fetching them from one location to the other. Our meetings is for the people of this community. And comrades, we are reaching out to you, the people of Corriverton, tonight by letting you understand clearly that the APNU is a party that is led by the best presidential candidate that you can know of all the political party contesting this year general and regional elections. Brothers and sisters, there is no other that can be compared to him, Aubrey Compton Norton, as the best suitable man to rule the country of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, where every man, every boy, every girl, and every woman can feel comfortable living in a society that they will be protected and have a livable and lively income and life that will take them out completely out of poverty. Comrades, and that is why tonight you may not be seeing people from different parts of the country, because it's a public meeting for the people of Corriverton, and we are proud of as a party to know that the people that support us are loyal to the party and to the leadership of the party and to their presidential candidate because of the love and because of their commitment to a party that they know can carry this country forward without corruption and injustice. And that is why tonight we trust that the people that are listening to us and hearing us will understand and know that we are carrying forth the best candidate that we can think of in this country to take us through for the next 5 years. And so our first speaker for tonight, I'm not a speaker. Our first speaker for tonight is a young man, and he's just behind here. I always get mixed up in pronouncing his name. And so as he makes his way up here, I will allow him to pronounce his own name, just to ensure that I do not mispronounce his name. All right, young man, run up here, run up here. You have the energy, run, 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 run. And I let Corriverton hear from you tonight as a young youth that can deliver, not like them PPP baggage what they fetching, and like them recycle what they want party, what they call it. Somebody call the name. It's people that they in the party, they come from all the party. It's not the party that they did not be Jew. They've been Jew all the party. So it means they visit all the disco that this country get because they pass through the party. But I tell you tonight that we get people in this party that is committed and loyal to the cause of APNU. Yes, young man, tell them.
Good evening, Corriverton. Mr. Anil said I have the energy, but right now, the drive to get down to here took the wind out of my sails. Comrades, tonight we gather here, I know, because we have one common objective come September the 1st, 2025. And that is to vote the criminal entity, that is the PPP, out of office. Comrades, we are gathered here to share the message that come September the 1st, 2025 will be the last day when we endure injustice, when we endure all the wrongdoings of this current regime. But comrades, I want you to know what you are voting against. You are voting against the high cost of living. The high cost of living is on the ballot, Corriverton. We are voting against a system that does not cater for the poor people of this country. The high cost of living is an unrelenting burden on the common citizens of Guyana. And what has this government done? Nothing. I say to you, after September the 1st, 2025, that ends. Comrades, we are voting against injustice. We are voting against corruption. We are voting against extrajudicial killings in our country. And I say to you, when we elect the next government of this country in the form of the APNU, when we elect the next president of this country, His Excellency Aubrey Compton Norton, we will have a society where young people can roam the streets of this country without fear, where they can walk the streets with their heads held high and know that they are safe. Because in order for the youths of this country to grow safely, the PPP must go. Comrades, Adriana Young is on the ballot. Ronaldo Peters is on the ballot. Or in Boston, Keon Fujane, we shall not forget. Comrades, I say to you, under a man who has 50 plus years of service in the public sector in this country, under a man who has no form of corruption attached to his name, we will lead Guyana and its citizens from poverty into prosperity, where every citizen will benefit equitably from the resources of our country. Corriverton, know what you're up against. I want to tell you that these elections are no joke. So I want to tell you to mobilize yourselves. Go into every community, every household. Tell them that the problem is the PPP and the only solution to the problem is the APNU. Brothers and sisters, gone will be the days when we have to fend for a basic lifestyle where our needs can't be met. Comrades, while they eat at 5-star restaurants and hotels, we are left to fend to put 3 square meals on our tables. Understand the magnitude of the situation, comrades. When their children go to private schools, you are left to fend and to search for the funds to send your children to school to gain a proper education. Brothers and sisters, when their bills are paid and catered for at the end of every month, you struggle to keep the lights on in your homes. I say after September the 1st, 2025, that ends. And when the APNU takes office, every Guyanese will enjoy their fair share. Corriverton will enjoy their fair share. From Corriverton to the East Coast to the hinterland, everyone will benefit under the APNU. Comrades, I want you to know that we are led by the best of the best. He is the last of his kind. Let us not make the mistake on September the 1st. Let us elect a man with dignity, not a puppet like Irfan Ali. Let us elect a man with respect. Let us elect the man who is qualified to run this country. Let us elect a man that is capable of taking Guyana to greater heights. Let us elect a man that does not have strings attached to him, where people can pull him and dictate what he does. Comrades, I say to you, let us go to the polls on September the 1st, 2025. Let us vote for the APNU. Let us vote the PPP out. And let us elect a government that will serve you decently and properly. Comrades, I want to address a situation. Some will come, and they will come as wolves in sheep clothing and tell you that we are one and sundry. I am here to denounce that statement. The APNU stands alone, and we stand for the people, not for our own benefit and illicit gains. Comrades, I've said this already. We are living in a Lamborghini economy, but only a few are enjoying the Lamborghini lifestyle, while we fend to live a donkey cart lifestyle in an oil-rich nation. Comrades, I want to tell you, when we vote against the PPP, we vote against incompetence. We vote against their incompetence to run this country. And it is not by accident, it is a pattern. Let us look right around the corner to Skeldon. Barra Jagdeo spearheaded the construction of the Skeldon sugar factory. And on to this day, it cannot produce an ounce of sugar. That speaks of incompetence of the PPP. That speaks of the corruption, because unto a day like today, Barra Jagdeo nor the PPP cannot give account for 200 million plus US dollars that was used to construct that sugar factory. Let us look at the gas to shore project that we, the APNU, initiated for some 700 million US dollars. Years have passed, and under this government, it cannot be completed. And the bill has inflated to 2 billion plus US dollars. Taxpayers' money going to waste. Comrades, I've come with one mission today, to tell you that on the 4th of September of 2025, go to the polls early. Get up, get your neighbors up, carry them to the polling stations if you have to. Tell them to put an X by the palm at the top and an X by the palm at the bottom, and vote in a competent government in the APNU that will lead you from poverty into prosperity. Corriverton, let us unite and rally around the APNU, and let us lead Guyana to greater heights. I thank you tonight.
Real change. What you waiting on? Time for vote clean, vote wise, vote strong. Vote now, vote now, vote. Put it by the palm if you serious, vote your life. Vote now, vote now, vote. APNU the permission, they take your future right. Vote now.
We heard from a young man that is uncomparable in any other political party at his age that is contesting this year's election. There is none political party can find a young man like him that can stand up and shout. And he not only shout, he just vomit. And then when he vomit, them other party just feel bad because he vomit stink. I will tell you, we are living in a tongue that the PPP is dominating the municipality. And the people are dominating the municipality, the mayor and deputy mayor and so on. You can link them to smuggling, human trafficking, chicken transporting, Chinese cross-border smuggling, and you can have money laundering, child abuse, you can name it. That is the kind of people that you find the PPP use to run their municipality and NDC. And that is not all. I can tell you some more stories. You might notice some construction going on. The mayor and deputy mayor are signatories to the council. They are the chairman of the works committee and the finance committee, and they give themselves the work when they tender it. They inspect the work themselves when they do the work, and then pay themselves when the work not even done. That is the kind of people that the PPP is having to run this country. That is the kind of people. And so, comrades, we got to be aware of the kind of people we're dealing with. The kind of people we're dealing with. And they go about and a set of people following them. We want to tell you the partnership of national unity is going to ensure that no victimization. They're threatening people all the time. A man tell me a couple of days ago that they bring a billboard fee and they tell him put up the billboard in front of the place. And when he put up the billboard, the billboard said that the man endorsed Irfan Ali and the PPP. The man said to bring the billboard and compel him to put up the billboard. That is the kind of people the PPP are. You work 10 days, you must only wear a red shirt. You work at the town council, you work at the NDC, you must only wear red shirt. If you've been seen associating with any other persons, and in particular people from the APNU, well, you are being threatened, you are being victimized. And so, comrades, we got to be careful. What is going to happen to us? Some of us getting old. Our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren. What would the PPP do with them if they go back in government? In order for Guyana to grow, the PPP must go. I tell people, you notice the pipe tap running red water. All over is red water. But I tell people, I know what they're doing it for. They're doing it on purpose. So that their friends and families can make money by selling bottled water. They're selling bottled water, running red tap water, so that they can turn rich. Out of who? Poor people like you and I. Comrades, tonight our next speaker is going to be a young woman. And she hails from the West Coast. And so we are going to call tonight on Comrade Lakshmi Aziz to speak to us.
Vote, you're gone in a trash. No vote, no vote. Don't leave it for later. Do it clean and bright. Vote, no vote, no vote. Aubrey and Jareda got division inside. Me used to say politics now for me, but me tired of waiting on miracle tree. Same old talk, same old scene, but me want clean money, not nothing mean. Me want build house, me want own land. Me tired of working with empty hand. So me start watching who really care and not know.
Good evening, my beloved brothers and sisters of Corriverton. I greet you with deep respect and love. For Guyana to grow, the PPP must go. Today, I stand before you not just to brag about buildings, bridges, and shiny things that doesn't feed our families. Because a country not built with just bricks, steels, and concrete. A country is built with people. A strong nation begins with justice. A strong nation begins with justice, with fairness, with unity and love. Under the PPP government, what we see is concrete without conscience, roads without rights, and bridges without justice. They build for show. We want to build for people. What good is a new highway if mothers are crying first in silence for justice for our children? What good is development if there's no justice for Adriana Young and so many others whose blood has stained the soil of this land, while the powerful stay silent? We say enough is enough. We demand justice for Adriana Young, for the innocent, for the voiceless. We demand an end to cover-ups and political protection for criminals. We will not build this country on pain and silence. We will build it on truth, on justice, and people. APNU, putting people first. We believe in a Guyana where good governance is not a dream, but a right. Social services that don't discriminate. Everyone, regardless of race, gets access to proper health care, housing, and education. Jobs are not handouts for families, friends, and favorites, but opportunities for all. Women and children, seniors, and the disabled are protected, not neglected. And where youths can dream boldly without leaving their country behind. We will not divide Guyana to rule it. We will unite Guyana to raise it. We are one people, one nation, one destiny. With APNU, we will strengthen ethnic and racial harmony. We reject the politics of race and fear. We embrace the politics of justice, equity, and progress. A government must work for the people, not for friends, not for contracts, not for self-gain. APNU stands for a people-centered approach, where every dollar spent must bring unity to human lives, where no village is too small to matter, where no citizen is too poor to be heard, and social protection shields our most vulnerable. Because we know you can't feed your children with concrete, you can't send your daughter to school with corruption, you can't sleep at night knowing justice is being buried. The time is now, my friends. If Guyana is to grow, the PPP must go. Let us rise with courage. Let us vote with purpose. Let us build a Guyana where no one is left behind. Vote APNU. Vote for justice. Vote for equity. Vote to put people first, because without the people, there is no nation. May God bless you, may God bless our villages, and may God bless the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. Thank you.
APNU, rise Guyana, shine. Together we build, now is the time. With Aubrey strong and heart so true, we're rising up. It's me and you. Vote APNU for justice, care for every family, everywhere. For jobs, for schools, for brighter days. For youth and elders, better ways. Who you voting for? Who gon' lift you more? Who gon' care for all? Stand up tall and vote.
Aubrey Compton Norton is a man of integrity. He's a man of his word. If you look at the list of candidates, both the top-up and geographic list, you will find endorsed lists. The APNU is having the most balanced list versus all of the other political party that is contesting the 2025 election. And we can challenge any political party. They can't find one of those persons on those lists to be crooked and corrupted like them leftovers, what them pick up and put on them list. You can't find them. It's because the people that is with APNU are quality people that has this country at their heart and is willing to work tirelessly. That's what you hear Jack Dale say now, and the next storm, they're going to work 24/7. What happened to the 23-year and plus the 5-year? How they used to work in? Building mansion in Miami, and China, and Saudi Arabia, and Praderville, and making the bank book big, thick, and heavy. And every time they drive on the road, you know from distance that they come in. Because one set of police got to drive in front of them, middle of them, behind them, because they can't drive by themselves. They can't drive by themselves. So they always got to get company to drive them. And so, comrades, we got to understand that we are having the class that none of them can compare it. When them there, I do ABC, we done clear university. And so, comrades, tonight, our next speaker will be a young man who is the General Secretary of the People National Congress, a man with a political history that has gone a long way in many years, even though he's young. And so I want to welcome to the podium tonight, Comrade Sharon Benjamin, the General Secretary of the People's National Congress.
You say it with us. You want real change? What you waiting on? Time for vote clean, vote wise, vote strong. Vote now, vote now, vote. Put it by the palm if it's serious.
Brothers and sisters, I greet you saying namaste. To my Muslim brothers and sisters, I greet you saying assalamu alaikum. And to my Christian brothers and sisters, I greet you in the precious name of Jesus the Christ. And to the APNU people in the house, I greet you in the mighty name of the Partnership for National Unity, the only political party that is fit and ready to rescue this nation from discord, disunity, and mayhem. And so, comrades, I want to tell you tonight that the APNU is in the house. And so, comrades, we have one task to do. And that task is to get up early on September 1st and vote them out. Comrades, you in Corriverton is like Guyana. I just see the former mayor passing the pamphlet that I must prosecute. On this pamphlet, they're telling you that the APNU whilst in government did nothing for Guyana. That's a lie. And so that pamphlet, comrades, is filled with lies, mistruths, and half-truths and misinformation, and it must be prosecuted. Comrades, they said that under an APNU government, there was high unemployment. Now, we left government in 2020, and they boast about bringing 50,000 jobs to this country, and the unemployment rate today is 14.86%, and that disputes what they're saying in that pamphlet. Comrades, they claim that the APNU did nothing for us in terms of taxes. And I want to say to you that it was the APNU government that reduced value-added tax in this country. We reduced value-added tax because when it was introduced to us, it was introduced to us at 16%, and now it is 14%. And we didn't only reduce the value-added tax, comrades. We zero-rated a series of items, school supplies, food items. And the PPP is not saying that to you because they're afraid of you knowing the truth. Comrades, they speak about us closing sugar. And I want to say to you, comrades, that is another lie. In 1992, this wicked, inept, and incompetent PPP civic government was told that they need to do a number of things. And if you think I lie, you, Mr. Murray there, he was in Gaisuko, and I was conceived, and I grew up in Gaisuko, and I'm telling you, that in 1992, they were told that they need to modernize Gaisuku if sugar is to survive, and they refused to do it. They were told again in 2001, and Barack Rosa and Susila Jagdeo refused. He refused to take the advice from the experts. And my friend Robaldo said he built Skeldon. This is the fact. Jagdeo and them were told that they need to expand on the existing sugar estates they had. Skeldon had a very small mill. Expand the milling capacity, they refused to do that. Albion had a very small boiling house capacity. Expand the boiling house capacity, they refused to do that. Rosale were told to convert it into a refinery so that we were not going to put raw sugar, but refined sugar, and they refused to do that. But you know what? They spent $200 million on that white elephant. This afternoon, I spoke with David Submat, a former member of parliament who was in sugar. And this man almost cried because after they put down that white elephant, sugar died. Sugar died not only here in the quarantine, but across the country. But tonight, the APNU government is about putting you first. And we believe that we will have that opportunity when you vote them out. Comrades, I can go on to prosecute the lies and mistruths of this PPP civic government, but I will do the APNU an injustice if I continue to do that. But permit me to prosecute one other thing: corruption. Corruption is at its highest under this PPP civic government. And you know what? Jagdeo and Irfan Ali, in their 2025 manifesto, is now telling Guyanese that they intend to bring an anti-corruption agency. Now that is laughable, Because it is the same two people who, when they took government in 2020, shut down the State Asset Recovery Agency. And I'll tell you why. Because President Ali came to government, came into power, having 19 fraud charges against his name that were from the State Asset Recovery Agency. Comrades, they won't tell you that. And so, not only Ali, there were Anil Nandalal. There was Anil Nandalal, who was also charged with the law books, you remember? And so, my brothers and sisters, the PPP Civic cannot be serious about anti-corruption, particularly when the PPP Civic for the last 30 years were in government in this country for 25 and they did nothing for anti-corruption. So we cannot take the PPP Civic at face value. Comrades, we in the APNU believe that you should have no fear, because with the APNU, all of us will have a share. And what does that mean? When you elect the APNU to power on September 1st and put His Excellency Aubrey Compton Norton as president of this country, within the first 100 days, the APNU guarantees that it will bring to us, for the first time after a long time, a people-centered development budget. And with that people-centered development budget, we will have a series of social programs. Jack Dio is cussing out and saying where we will find the money. But when we cut the corruption from the government, all of the social programs will be paid for. And so, comrades, first, we will reduce VAT. VAT is reduced by 2% to 14%. But an APNU government guarantees that VAT will be reduced to 8% when we are elected the government. Comrades, we will increase the income tax threshold, allowing you to have more disposable income in your pocket so you can buy more things. And so, comrades, our presidential candidate and soon to be president made a pronouncement not so long ago that every person 18 years and above who has applied for a house lot and is not earning more than 400,000 will be given that house lot free. And that is a government that cares. That is a government that cares. The PPP can't match that. Comrades, it is time for seriousness. And we need not to be fickle-minded with our votes. Because if Guyana is to grow, the wicked, incompetent PPP Civic must go. And you know what? When we elect the APNU and Aubrey Compton Norton and Joretta Finance and Ganesh Aditya Mahipal, it will be the beginning of the dawn of a new day. A dawn of a new day where there will be no more corruption in government. You know why? Because we believe in equity. And equity says he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. And that is why our symbol is an open hand. Comrades, the PPP can't do that. They can't match it. And so, my brothers and sisters, I can go on and talk about these things. But let me speak about our presidential candidate. Our presidential candidate is a person who I've known for the last 28 years. And he has been in public life for 52 years. And he served this country in various sectors, starting from the Foreign Affairs Ministry. And he served with distinction. And so, comrades, tonight I want to give you the opportunity to hear from a person who I have termed to be a real servant leader. And that is what Guyana deserves. We deserve a leader that put people first. Not friends, not family, not favorites. Comrades, you live in Region 6. You live in Region 6. And you know of the Minister of Agriculture, Zulfikar Mustafa. This man is involved in all sorts of scam. And he'll tell you about two. But when the low quarantine was flooded out in 2021 and 2022, Zulfikar Mustafa never sent any pump, but he built the country for 24 hours of pumps for a prolonged period. The pump never went and pumped no water. And so, my brothers and sisters, I'm coming back to the anti-corruption agency that Jackie was speaking about. If he ain't putting himself in front of the anti-corruption agency and Zulfi, then it can't work for none of we. Comrades, our presidential candidate has served us with distinction, served this country with distinction. And I'm saying to you tonight that the time has come for us to elect Aubrey Compton Norton as true servant leader to lead us into prosperity and economic growth. Comrades, all the other political parties have now put forward their manifestos. And I'm happy to say that our manifesto is superior, like our presidential candidate, to all the other political parties. The PPP, copycat. They copy now people-centered development. They're talking all sorts of bull. And now they're saying that they are dealing with people-centered development. We started to use that term years ago. Comrades, let me talk about WIN. They copied the 2020 manifesto of the APNU. And they even put in their manifesto the APNU while in government will build or has built. That is the nature of the people we have to deal with. We can't trust them. And since I'm in quarantine, when Huri come from Trench Bottom, you got to believe him. Azraddin Mohammed says he used to use his resources and his guns and his men to protect them. Who's the them? Ask yourselves. He wasn't protecting you. He didn't protecting the PPP, his friends. And so, comrades, you cannot trust Azraddin Mohammed with your vote. You cannot trust Azraddin Mohammed with your vote. And I'm saying to you that a vote for any political party other than the APNU is a vote for the PPP. And if we are to successfully remove this incompetent cabal, we can only and must only vote APNU. Comrades, I can go on, but I'll speak to the first-time voters and those working in state agencies and those young contractors, small, medium-scale contractors and the 10-day workers. Have no fear. Don't worry with the PPP and the lies they're telling you. The APNU is an inclusive party and will be an inclusive government. And I'm saying to you, forget what they say, because our constitution guarantees you certain rights. And what the PPP Civic is doing is denying you those rights. You have a right to a conscience, a right to associate, and a right to vote them out. Comrades, young contractors, we intend to beautify all the townships and the NDCs, and you will have jobs under an APNU government. We intend to ensure that you receive the relevant training so that you can manage effectively and deliver, not like the PPPs, because their track record in government is overpriced projects, overtime projects, and ultimately, Guyanese are paying a dear price. So, comrades, on September 1st, you have one right. Wake up early, pray to your God, wake your family, wake up the community, and walk down to your respective polling stations. And vote first at the top. so that we can send Opry Compton Norton to the office of the president, and vote at the bottom so that we can send credible leaders to the region so that this region will not be left behind. My brothers and sisters, I must say, long live the Partnership for National Unity. Long live the leader of the Partnership for National Unity, Aubrey Compton Norton. Long live Guyana. God bless you. Thank you.
If you think I foolish, ain't nobody playing. I voting APNU. No one else but APNU. You could come with contract, money and distraction, but I ain't gonna lose my mind just to please them faction. I voting APNU. No.
Thank you, Comrade GS. You know, when we think about political parties, and we think about loyalty, and we think about trust and love, we gotta think about the people that serve in a partnership of national unity. You know, nowadays, people collecting a $5,000. You can hardly, when you buy a bunch of bora, and you buy pepper and tomato, the $5,000 done. People collecting a little $10,000. So I wonder if you know if they're collecting $5,000 and they're collecting $1,000 for a year. So when 5 years they put another, well, 5 years people you go back into government or any other body of $5,000, if that they're gonna live for 5 years. Because they're giving you little money now. They're throwing little crumbs now. But when they go in office, they know you. They're running around the place now. They're giving black tongue somewhere. They're running around the place now. They're giving motor boat engine somewhere. In Corriverton, they're spraying tarp on the road and they're throwing a little more tarp on it. And they say they're making road all over the place. All them streets to go wrong. The one black up, this one black up, the other one black up. Because they block the street by throwing tar in it. And they're telling you to build a road. Because they're putting all the money in their pocket. They're putting the money in the pocket. They tell the police force they love them so much. They tell the police force they love them. They care for them. And when you go to the police force washroom, you got to go to the doctor when you come out. Because you're sick. Because you're sick. They love the police force so much. And when you walk past the back room that the man staying in, you believe if somebody living by the road corner, trench corner, the thing smelling awful. And they love the police force real good. We going down the other day to Linden, and we decide to stop. We see some policemen, and we tell you it's best you to go in the bush where mosquito bite you and where people scrape you. I tell you it's best you to go there. Because if you see the thing condition and they say there how them love the police force, how they love them bad. I tell you, if that is what you call love, I can imagine how they just love their wife and baby. If that is what you call love. Comrades, them people is nasty, them stink, and them dirty. And you telling me that we can take the bluff from them now? That when it comes September 1, we must vote for them? Something got wrong with you. You got a blind, you got a deaf, you got a dumb, and you must sit up in a wheelchair before you do that. Because, comrades, when you look at the Partnership of National Unity, and we heard about the comrade leader, There is not one of them that you can put alongside of him and they get the credential of the man. The man got a heart like David. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. And there is nobody else in this country that is capable of administrating this nation more than him. And you know what else? It is for the first time an indigenous woman will be elected as a prime minister of Guyana. And then alongside her, then you have an East Indian man that is going to be the vice president. You check any one of them other party if it's structured that way. And if they do structure that way, they get rubber stamp in the party when they get ink. Rubber stamp when you get ink. Because when they're stamping blank. It's blank rubber stamp. But comrades, tonight we're having with us the leader of the People National Congress, the leader of a partnership of national unity, the leader of a nation that he loves and cares for, a man that is down to earth, meets people everywhere, talks to people everywhere, can sit in the comfort of anyone, anywhere. And that man will be speaking to us tonight. That man is going to be the next president of this country. That is a people person, a man that cares for every single person, whether you're East Indian, or whether you're African, or whether you're Amerindian, or whether you're in between. He's the best leader that this country can ever have and will have. And tonight I take great pleasure in calling on the leader of the Partnership of National Unity, Comrade Aubrey Compton Norton.
You step it up. You want real change? What you waiting on? Time for vote clean, vote wise, vote strong. Vote now, vote.
I'm happy to be here with you. And one of the first things I want to point out is that we didn't fetch anybody from anywhere and brought them here. What you see on the road, what you see here is an authentic Corriverton crowd. Let the PPP continue to fool themselves by fetching people all around and suggesting they have a crowd. If you recycle garbage, you will get out garbage. My friends, I'm reliably informed that today they went around and was threatening nurses. They were threatening nurses that if they come out, they will look for a job. Let them continue to threaten people. It wouldn't change the results of these elections. People have come to recognize that under the PPP, they have no freedom. People have come to recognize that under the People's Progressive Party, they seek to control and dominate you. And so when they vote in these elections, they are going to vote against that attempt to dominate and control. I heard today when I arrived that they are advertising the opening of another hospital. You know, a hospital is not merely a building. A hospital must have doctors, it must have nurses, it must have equipment, and it must have drugs. The PPP opened a hospital day before yesterday at Lima in the Essequibo Coast. And the person went to that hospital and there was no oxygen, so the person died. So what it says to you is that they are not interested in delivering medical services. They are interested in building buildings so that they can get the corruption money from it. Construction in this country is not being done to provide quality roads to the people. Burnham built this Corriverton highway years ago. And it lasts well over 30 years. They have already rebuilt it since they empowered twice. It speaks to their incompetence. It speaks to their corruption. And I want to say this to you about corruption. When a government is as corrupt as this government, what in fact they are doing is taking money that should go to give you goods and services and putting it in their pockets. And so corruption is a disease that inflicts this country and stop people from enjoying the development they should enjoy. We have a manifesto, and the focus of the manifesto is to get rid of poverty from this country. It is a great contradiction for a country to be the fastest growing economy in the world and at the same time increasing poverty at a fast rate. So our aim is to get rid of poverty. Our aim is to put you, the people, first. Our aim is to ensure resources meet you, the people, and you are able to develop. Under this government, the cost of living continues to rise, and the government is taking no action to deal with the cost of living, so that by that very token, they want to see you in poverty. I believe this government deliberately keep people in poverty because they believe when people are in poverty, they can give them a little handout and control and dominate them. We in the APNU said to you, our programs are aimed at ensuring you develop and become independent, dignified people. It is for that reason we said to you, we are going to give you free house lots once you are 18 years and above and earning 400,000 and under and do not own a house. The APNU promises you a house lot, free of cost. The senior government officials sell themselves and friends properties at next to nothing. But when it comes to the poor man, they want him to pay large sums if you put it against their salaries. And that is why we say Ghana has endless land. And we will deliver to the citizens of this country free house lots. The second thing we say we will do as it relates to house is that we are going to build houses. You will rent them with an agreement that once the rent covers the cost of the house will become yours. What that means is you don't have to go looking for people transport and all kind of things to the bank to get a house. The system we will put in place will allow poor people in this country to get a house. And you must recognize there is a certain pride There is a certain respect that people get when they own their own houses. And we want to see that respect and dignity. We also said that we will do rent relief, meaning based on your income, if you pay a certain amount of rent, you can get from the government rent assistance so that your cost of living will not be as high as it is now. Because we know we can't finish building all the houses you need in 5 years. But we are well prepared to give you rent assistance to ease the burden on you as a Guyanese citizen. We are well aware that many persons do not have the income to get a mortgage. And we said to you, we will also give mortgage assistance so that people who don't meet the amount can get from the government assistance so that they can get a mortgage. We intend to take these approaches so that we can house the people of Guyana. Some of you might hear the government saying, how are you going to finance it? You know, Barajagdo and the PPP are interesting people. When we first said that we will do cash transfer, the bald-head rat ran out there and said, it cannot be done. It will damage the economy. You will eat out the economy. When he recognized that the PPP is in trouble and people are preparing to vote them out, he went and announced cash grant. So they don't have a brain of their own. We were pressuring them to return free education to the university. They put up on a billboard that they deliver free university education. The reality is Guyana had free education from 1976. And when the PPP came to power in 1992, they removed free education and caused people to pay. So they are out of place to come now to say that they deliver free education. They are rectifying a wrong they did to the youth and people of this country. It is they who took it away. And so don't be fooled by all this thing about they delivered. What are the things they claim they have delivered? They said they reopened estates in Gaisuko, but that was not the promise. The promise was that they will reopen it and make them viable. They are producing far less now, and they have made Gaisuko a burden on the economy. And so what you're seeing is their incompetence. The best thing the PPP can do is thief. Most of them arrived at the point of ministers with nothing. They will all leave as billionaires. The reason that they cannot deliver to the people the things we are talking about is because to do that will cut the corruption money. And they have no intention of the corruption money being cut. This government is all about their families, their friends, and their favorites. We are saying to you, we will focus on delivering resources to you, the people of Guyana, so that you can develop. We have made it very clear that we will spend money on education. We're going to give our children 2 hot meals so that we remove the burden during the school week on the parent. that will also carry down the parents' cost of living. We have said that we are going to establish a national schools transportation system to take our children to school free of cost. There is no sense in boasting about education when in fact children do not have the resources to go to school. And that is why we said to you, we're going to give children in school $120,000 per year, $60,000 in June and $60,000 to the end of the year, so that our children can get the resources to go to school. And when I said that, the failure Priyamanik Chan, this woman who has failed the education system, this woman who has failed our children, are saying we are putting conditions to give the money. Yes, we are putting conditions. This money is not for you to do your nails. It is not for you to go to a Bujo Banton show or a popcorn. It is for you to recognize that education is important to our children and that it be utilized to ensure our children get quality education and can develop. I can tell you from experience, one of the best ways, legal ways, to get yourself out of poverty is a good education. We are committed to giving our children a quality education. At present, 16,000 children will do the grade 6 or common entrance examination. By the time you arrive at CXC, only 5,000 children will get 5 CXCs with math and English. What that means is about 10 to 11,000 children every year coming out the school system, and they do not have the qualifications to get a job or to go on to higher education. We are saying to you that is unacceptable. We are going to give all public servants, including teachers, significant wage increases so that they can have a livable income, so that they will want to stay in the teaching profession. We will reduce the size of classes and increase the teaching quota so that there are more teachers to educate our children in smaller groups. This government at Queen's College, once they want one of the children in there, they extend the number so that Dunson child could go because they didn't get the required. A country needs to be governed based on principle. And so we will rectify that. That 11,000 children every year who are not getting 5 subjects, CXC, with math and English, we are going to put in place night schools across this country so that they can go back to school. You could have the world of money. Fire could destroy it. People could thief it. All kinds of things happen. But when you have a sound education, you have it for life. And so we will invest in educating our children and our population. We are well aware that not every child will be able to get 5 CXC with math and English. And that is why we will increase technical and vocational training so that those young people who have other skills can develop those skills and become decent human beings in this country working for a decent wage. This government likes to say we did nothing between 2015 and 2020. Between 2015 and 2020, we saw a reduction in blackouts. We saw GPL becoming economically viable and improved considerably. This government came to power, removed the management we would have placed there. The present manager named Nandlal. So you could tell his who brother. Ask him he know about engineering, nothing. He is just a political crony placed there. We had an arrangement where we were going to import, we were to purchase generators to ensure we constantly extend the generating capacity of the Guyana Power and Light. They came and they changed that. And in the interest of the corruption where they like, they brought power ships. Who on earth would be buying new modern equipment? You came and you met that. And then suddenly you change it to say you are renting power boats. What that means is they intend to keep paying the Dominican Republic company billions of dollars that they will get kicked back from. And we, the Guyanese people, will face it down the line. More so, the company they are trying to bring to GPL has failed in Jamaica. Why would you take a failed company that failed to deliver the electricity that is needed in Jamaica and bring them to Guyana and pay them millions of dollars to give us no light? It is the only country in the world I heard that when you ask why they got blackouts, they say bored by the wire. Only in Guyana. Unless these birds are vultures like the PPP, I can't see birds biting wire and giving me blackout. So everything for them is corruption. This government cannot help itself. I've said before, if when you move, your shadow didn't move, this government would have thief their own shadow. But the shadow is moved, so they can't do it. But one of the worst things that is happening to this country is the high level of corruption. Which government on earth, you know, and if you know of one, tell me, but which government on earth will allow its police force to cover up the murder of an innocent 11-year-old child? That takes the cake. I can understand that the rich could do all the kinds of things. But when a government has the audacity to know that an 11-year-old child was murdered in a hotel, and you allow the commander to say the child left the building in a car, and then proceeded to lock up the man in the car. As fate would have it, or luck, their own critic, that dumbbell called critic, in an attempt to prove that the girl wasn't in there, flew a drone over the swimming pool. And so it was known that the child wasn't there the night before. So when the pressure built now and they threw the child in the pool, all the evidence was clear that the child was murdered there. But this government defended to the end. And that is one of the things that convinced me that Irfan Ali must be one of the dumbest things this earth produced. He comes out and says the pathologist suggests there is no foul play. Look, even if you take Stevie Wonder, you would see that was a murder. And I make this promise to you that in office there will be a proper international competent investigation into the murder of Adriana Young. We owe it to the people of this country. I also say that there will be a total transformation of the leadership of the Guyana Police Force. Why should we be embarrassed by a police force in which its top leadership has to be sanctioned by the United States? Why should we have at the top of our police force men who frightened to go to America that try and cut through Panama and go all wrong? Because it's a corrupt leadership. The commissioner Fickin, or whatever he name, Fickin Hickin, you are a commissioner of police. You're fighting with every little boy with a giant or something. Me saying they must smoke. Me saying nobody must break the law. But if you are a commissioner, you know them, and you know the men under you involved in drug trafficking, then you yourself should resign. Or if you had a competent government, they will fire you. But you know they can't fire you. Because if they fire you, apart from knowing the story, if they fire him, they wouldn't have the person to protect them. Remember, after the journalist came here and trapped Jack Dale and had him stammering, sue, there was a demand for the police to investigate the corruption that Barry Jack Dale was involved in. The police refused to, because hand wash hand. No, in this case, make hand dirty. Hand wash hand in this case produces two dirty hands. And so, when we are voting in these elections, we are voting to restore law and order to Guyana. When we voting in these elections, we are voting to ensure that we have a police force that serves the people of Guyana and not just serve the rich and the politically positioned. Any decent society would say, if you do the crime, you got to do the time. Not the PPP. They permit the bribery of a little child, a little indigenous child that was raped. You know, this government protects the worst people. And I always tell them, you know, they like to talk about those who left the PNC and gone to the PPP. I like remind them James Bond got a Martin coat. So he is in conflict with the law. Daniel Sira, he got a matter in court. If you look at all the persons that gravitate to the PPP, you see one thing, a criminal streak. Who in already, all of them don't commit the crime. They got some of them that are charged, and they got some of them that got the charge hanging over the head like the swords of Damocles. And so, let us not worry. We are saying to you, we have the best team in this election. I can say without fear of successful contradiction that the qualifications I have can be proven in the university. They can't say that for a fact. He's the only man I know went to a university in a community named my flood. And when you search the community, they not know university. I'm saying to you, they can search how much they want. I have lived my life as a simple, humble man, and I've avoided corruption. I refuse corrupt overtures because I believe corruption keeps people in poverty. It enriches the few, but the majority suffers. And I say to you this evening, we are going to put people first. We want people to improve their lives. We want people to live a comfortable life. And that is why we say to you, we will reject corruption. And an administration led by me will deal with corruption if it ever emerges. Because we do believe corruption is a killer of people's hopes. My friends, these elections are critical. These elections will determine whether the people of Guyana will continue to live in poverty while the elite leadership become billionaires. We are saying to you, we will take the billions of dollars coming into this economy and ensure it is distributed so that the people can develop. We intend to have a very robust agricultural program in which we put young people into modern agriculture, aquaponics, etc., so that we can produce the goods, the agricultural products we need. And this is critical. This government is so dumb. ExxonMobil came, thousands coming with them. You must know, if you continue to produce in the limited regions, what will happen is that there will be shortages. And that is why I say Barrett Jagdo is an economist. Because were he an economist, he would have known from simple first form economics that when goods become scarce, the price goes up. We are saying to you, we are cognizant of that fact. And we are going to increase agricultural production. We're going to ensure that there is agricultural production in every region, so that we have more goods which will impact and bring down the price of agricultural goods. Why should a bundle of bora be more expensive than an imported tin of sardine? Because the government doesn't plan. And we're saying to you, we intend to take agriculture to a higher level. First, we know we have to develop refrigerating storage capacity, so that when you start to produce and produce the excess, it isn't thrown away. It is stored, and then it is processed so that there can be products for sale on the export market. My friends, don't be carried away by oil. Oil doesn't last forever. Oil is important to us, but it is only be useful if that oil money is used to generate other economic activities and industries. So when oil is over or oil prices are down, we have alternatives. That is what makes sense. You have a government that is spending 99% of the money that coming from oil wild. They are wasting it. Rather than in a very structured way, have a natural resource fund in which you utilize 75% and 25% you save. Look, most Guyanese don't have savings, and they must know what the burden it is when you don't have anything saved for hard times. And that is what the government is doing to us. They are putting us in a place where they are not saving the resources from oil. They are using it. So if oil price goes down or we come to the end of oil production, we will be in deep trouble. We are saying to you, we will have a natural resource fund in which a large percentage of it will be saved because we have to cater for future generations. We have to cater for low oil prices. We have to cater for the fact that oil will end at some time. And so our intention is to do everything to benefit the people of Guyana. We have said we will give you a 10,000 electricity subsidy so that if you're paying $10,000 a month, you won't have to pay anything. But if you're consuming over 10,000, you have to pay the difference. We will do the same thing with water for 5,000. We want to see our people develop. We intend to give every child, every youth who goes to study after secondary school at our university, at our technical institutes, we intend to give them $50,000 to ensure that they can complete their programs. Guyana has need for a lot of skills. Guyana is in so much trouble that we bring in drivers from Bangladesh. Tell me, what is so difficult for a government to set up a driving school and train our young people to drive right here so that they can get the jobs? But no, they prefer pay some company for recruit them, and in paying the company, they get paid themselves. Everything for them is corruption. They don't see straight. If they're in corruption money, we have to end that. We want a government that serves the people of Guyana. That is the reality. We want a government that is competent. You know, I listened to that dumb one here, Jill, saying that you don't need to do a stress test on the new bridge. The man is sheer stress. In the world recently, the largest bridge was completed. And you know what they did? They packed vehicles with weight on it, right across. And it is done in China, and the Chinese building this. And you would say we shouldn't do stress tests when the Chinese put all as much weight as they can put on it to test its stress level. But they don't care. If the bridge collapses with people, they will move on like how they move on when the students at Mahdia get killed. They have a war mentality. And I believe Ghana should demand a stress test. The reason why they didn't want a stress test is that they're hoping to open it for the elections, but they didn't get through. Which is another thing about this government. Every project they would have handled, it goes on years and years after the time it was scheduled to complete. The gas to shore probably is the worst to them. It was to finish in 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. Thank God they wouldn't be there in 2026. I want to say this to you. We're not voting against the PPP because we dislike them. We're voting against them because they're taking all our resources and through corruption, putting it in the hands of their families, their friends, and their favorites. We're voting against them because we have a lot of resources and they are not putting it in the hands of the people. We are going to put it in the hands of the people. We are voting against them because they are incompetent. Every road that they build is a disaster. We are voting against their incompetence. We are voting against their corruption. We are voting against their unwillingness to bring down the high cost of living. We are going to bring down the high cost of living. People matter for us. And since people matter, cost of living has to be a critical issue. And we will take the measures to bring the cost of living down. If you look at our manifesto, you will see a plan for every sector. And we believe we have to develop every sector. And so, I want to urge you to put your X next to the palm. I want to urge you to vote to return honesty to this country. To return honesty to this country, you have to put your X next to the palm. We want to see the return of law and order. Not people behaving like if there's a sheriff in the Wild West and beating up people and doing as they like. That will come to an end under us. So, I urge you to come out and vote for a better life. Come out and vote for a quality life. Come out and vote for a reformed Guyana police force. Come out and vote for a better education system. And come out and vote for the social programs we have that will put resources in your pocket and ensure you develop. My friends, the PPP has no interest in you, the people of Guyana. They spend years, and election time, they come with promises. PPP means plenty, promises plenty. That's all they do. And after the election, they become the worst regime in the world. So, I want to close by saying to you, Guyana needs to grow. Guyana needs to breathe. Guyana needs to become a democratic society. Guyana needs to become a society in which the people have rights. Guyana needs to become a society in which the people feel at home and they want to be one people, one nation, one destiny. And for that to happen and for Guyana to grow, the PPP must go. Put your X next to the palm and let us move forward. May God bless you all.
Vote now, vote. Put it by the palm if you serious. Vote your life. Vote now, vote now, vote. APNU the permission they take your future right. Vote now, vote now, vote. Don't leave it for later. Do it clean and bright. Vote now, vote now, vote. Aubrey and Jareda got the vision inside. Me used to say politics now for me, but me tired of waiting on miracle tree. Same old talk, same old scene, but me want clean money, not nothing mean. Me want build house, me want own land. Me tired of working with empty hand. So me start watching who really care, and APNU was right there everywhere. Youth man take note, this not no joke. No party